If you're thinking about getting a truck camper, you need to hear this, because most people get it completely wrong. Just because a camper says it's half-ton compatible doesn't mean your truck is ready to haul it. Payload matters, suspension matters, and if you skip the upgrades, you're in for a rough and possibly dangerous ride. Let's talk about the brutal truth behind truck campers and what it really takes to haul one safely. One of the biggest myths floating around the RV world is that half-ton trucks can easily carry a truck camper. Dealers, brochures, and even some manufacturers slap a half-ton compatible label on their campers to make them sound more accessible. But the brutal truth is this: most half-ton trucks are not built to safely carry a truck camper. Not even close. Sure, there are a few exceptions. Some newer half-ton trucks with max payload and tow packages can technically carry a lightweight camper. But technically doesn't mean safely or comfortably. Most half-ton trucks on the road today have payload capacities in the 1,400 to 1,800-pound range. That sounds like enough, until you factor in the weight of passengers, fuel, gear, tie-down equipment, and upgrades. Suddenly, you're maxed out before you even hit the road. What happens when you overload a half-ton? You'll see it the second you drop that camper in the bed. The rear end squats, the handling becomes sloppy, braking gets worse, and you lose confidence behind the wheel. In short, it's unsafe. And unsafe turns into expensive real quick if you damage your truck. Or worse, cause an accident. Even lightweight campers put stress on suspension systems that half-tons just aren't built to handle long-term. Rear leaf springs start to sag, tires wear unevenly, and ride quality goes out the window. You'll feel every bump in the road, sway more in the wind, and put serious wear and tear on your vehicle. Many buyers get into truck campers thinking, "My F-150 or Silverado should be fine." And then they find out the hard way that fine isn't the same as functional. If you're serious about truck camping, you need a truck that's actually built for the job. That usually means stepping up to a 3/4 ton or 1 ton truck with the payload capacity to match. Even then, it's not just about numbers on a sticker. It's about how the truck performs under real-world conditions. A truck may technically handle the weight, but without suspension upgrades and proper prep, you're still risking a poor driving experience and possible safety issues. Bottom line, don't believe the half-ton hype. If you're getting into truck campers, you need to start with the right truck, not the most convenient one. It might cost more up front, but it's going to save you a lot of headaches and a lot of money down the road. A lot of people think a truck camper is a budget-friendly way to get into RV life. No need to buy a trailer, no need to worry about towing. Just drop it in the bed and go, right? Not even close. The brutal truth is, truck campers come with a hidden cost that many buyers don't see coming. Your truck probably needs thousands of dollars in upgrades before it's ready to handle that camper. First, there's the suspension. Even if you've got a solid 3/4 ton or 1 ton truck, most of them still need extra support when carrying a full-size camper. That often means adding airbags, upgraded shocks, sway bars, or extra leaf springs to handle the weight and reduce rear-end sag. Those upgrades alone can cost anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000, depending on the truck and how much help it needs. Then there's tie-down systems and turnbuckles. You can't just drop a camper in the bed and hope for the best. You'll need a proper frame-mounted tie-down setup to secure the camper safely. And those kits don't come cheap. Expect to spend another $1,000 or more just for a solid setup, especially if you want one that won't rust out in a couple seasons. And that's before you even think about wheels and tires. Many factory setups aren't rated for the kind of constant load that a camper applies. Upgrading to higher load-rated tires or even heavy-duty wheels can easily tack on another $1,000 or more to your total cost. In total, many truck camper owners end up putting $3,000 to $10,000 into their truck after buying the camper, just to get it roadworthy. And if you're planning to tow a boat, utility trailer, or toy hauler behind that camper, you're looking at even more stress on the truck, possibly requiring gear ratio changes, cooling system upgrades, or beefed-up brakes. People get sticker shock when they see how much truck campers cost up front. But the real surprise comes later, when they realize the truck they already own isn't ready to carry one, and that the upgrades aren't optional if you want safety, comfort, and long-term reliability. The reality is, truck campers aren't just a purchase, they're a project. And if you're not ready to invest in your truck, you're going to end up overloaded, uncomfortable, or unsafe. Either budget for the upgrades, or rethink whether a truck camper is the right fit for your rig and your wallet. If you're thinking about putting a truck camper on your pickup, there's one number that absolutely matters more than anything else: payload. It doesn't matter how big your truck looks or how much it can tow. What matters is how much weight it can carry safely in the bed. And that number, printed right on your door sticker, is the deal breaker. Most folks assume a 3/4 ton or even a half-ton truck can probably handle it, especially if the camper is marketed as half-ton compatible. But the truth is, many of these campers push the limits of what a pickup can carry, before you even add gear, passengers, or water. A dry camper might weigh 2,000 to 3,000 pounds, but once you load it up with batteries, propane, food, tools, and personal stuff, you're often adding another 500 to 1,000 pounds or more. Now toss in a full tank of gas, a couple people in the cab, and maybe even towing a boat or trailer behind you, and you're suddenly 1,000 pounds over payload, and you haven't even left the driveway. That's not just uncomfortable, it's unsafe. Your suspension gets overloaded, your brakes have to work harder, your tires wear unevenly, and your handling gets sloppy. Worst case scenario, you damage your truck or cause an accident. Even trucks that technically have enough payload often need support. Airbags, sway bars, heavy-duty shocks. None of those are optional if you want to keep your camper level and drive with confidence, but many people skip this part, either due to cost or because they assume the factory suspension is good enough. Payload isn't about towing, it's about carrying weight directly on the frame. And when it comes to truck campers, you're carrying a lot more than you think. If you ignore your payload rating, you're gambling with your safety, your truck's health, and your camping plans. So before you ever shop for a camper, check your truck's door sticker. If the numbers don't add up, walk away or upgrade. Because when it comes to payload, close enough isn't good enough. There's a big misconception out there that truck campers are a cheap, simple alternative to buying a travel trailer or fifth wheel. Smaller size, no trailer hitch, no tow hassle. Just throw the camper in your truck and you're good to go, right? Wrong. Truck campers aren't just expensive, they often cost way more than buyers expect. For starters, a well-built hardside camper loaded with features, like a bathroom slide-out solar or a four-season package, can easily run $35,000 to $50,000, with high-end models climbing into the $80,000 plus range. That's more than many travel trailers, and in some cases, it's bumping into fifth-wheel territory. Why so much? It's the engineering. These campers pack full living systems, plumbing, electrical, cabinetry, heating, into a compact shell that has to ride securely in a truck bed and take a beating on the road. That kind of precision costs money. But that's only the beginning. Most trucks aren't ready to handle a camper straight from the factory. You'll likely need to invest thousands more in suspension upgrades, airbags, leaf springs, sway bars, to keep your rig level and safe. Then there's the tie-down system, which needs to be frame-mounted, along with proper turnbuckles to secure the camper. That setup can cost another $1,000 to $1,500, depending on the brand and install. And don't forget tires. Factory tires often aren't rated for the load of a fully loaded camper. Swapping in E-rated or higher load tires could run you another $1,000 plus. And that's before any towing gear or accessories. Add all of that up, and suddenly your simple camper setup costs as much, or more, than a full-size travel trailer with double the space. The bottom line? Truck campers aren't cheap or entry-level. They're high-end, high-function rigs that come with a serious price tag. And that's before you touch your truck. If you're not ready to budget for both, it's not the right RV for you. So you've got the right truck. Maybe it's a 1-ton with a solid payload rating, a diesel engine, and a long bed. You've checked the sticker, done the math, and it looks like your truck can handle the camper you've got your eye on. Problem solved, right? Not even close. The brutal truth is, even with the right truck, upgrades are still required if you want to carry a camper safely, comfortably, and reliably. Truck campers, especially hard-side models with bathrooms, slide-outs, and holding tanks, are top-heavy and extremely demanding on your suspension system. Yes, your truck may technically have the payload to carry it, but that doesn't mean it's going to ride well or handle safely on the road. The rear of the truck will often squat, your steering may feel light, and your cornering becomes sloppy, all of which can make driving a white-knuckle experience, especially on rough roads or in windy conditions. That's where suspension upgrades come in. Airbags, additional leaf springs, upgraded shocks, and sway bars aren't just nice extras, they're essential. Without them, your truck will ride like a brick and may bottom out under load. Airbags help level the load and reduce sag. Sway bars give you better control in turns. Heavy-duty shocks help absorb the weight and smooth out the ride. But it doesn't stop there. You'll also need a proper tie-down system, which has to be frame-mounted, not just bolted to the bed rails. Turnbuckles must be strong, tensioned correctly, and checked regularly. And depending on your camper's footprint, you may even need to modify your truck's bumper or tailgate setup to fit everything correctly. Even if you're not towing anything, you're still pushing your truck to its limits. And if you are towing a trailer or boat behind that camper, expect to add a heavy-duty hitch, upgraded cooling systems, and possibly even gear ratio adjustments. The bottom line is simple. Owning a truck camper means investing in your truck, period. Whether it's a half-ton, 3/4 ton, or 1 ton, it's not just about meeting the weight requirements. It's about making sure your setup is dialed in for safety, stability, and long-term durability. Skip the upgrades and you'll pay for it later, in repairs, stress, or worse. So there you have it. 5 brutal truths about truck campers and the trucks that carry them. This isn't a setup you can just buy and go. It takes planning, real numbers, and a willingness to invest in your truck if you want the whole thing to work safely and comfortably. Too many folks jump into the truck camper world without understanding what it really takes, and they end up overloaded, underprepared, and disappointed. Don't be that guy. Do the math. Know your payload. Expect the upgrades. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to Road Life Guide for more no-nonsense RV content, and drop a comment if you've had to modify your truck or learn the hard way. Until next time, stay smart, travel safe, and I'll see you out on the road.